Hi everyone, welcome back to Sports Kati. So today we are here with an additional episodes from normally what we do. So this is what you can call as a bonus episodes to explain about certain small aspects of the Fantasy Premier League game. So today I'll be talking about certain FPL strategies which are related to price changes and wildcard. Mainly focusing on the team value, the importance of team value, and how to ensure that you are ahead of the curve, how to ensure that you can increase your team value, and especially while using a wild card, how to maximize your team value. So that's what we will be looking at. So as you are aware, it's the international break now in football, in league football. So from an FPL perspective, that's the right time to use a wild card. A very good time to. There's no right time to use anything, but a very good time to use a wild card. Why I say that is because we have got 4 weeks of football already now. Already, and we have seen what the football is played, and we have seen what the players can do. So we have got a decent understanding of how the teams are. Okay, I understand. Given the current results this season, it all looks slightly crazy. Who would have expected City to lose 5-2 or United to lose 6-1? And for me, the least expected of the lot was Liverpool losing 7-2 to Aston Villa. But still, our understanding is better than what it was from the start of the season. So we have some understanding on how the teams are played, or the team formations are, and how the players are performing. Secondly, it's the international break. So that means the players go on to play the international matches. Now, what that means is that players might get injured, or in the current atmosphere, even catch the virus, which can keep them out for, like, say, at least couple of weeks. And then the transfer window is still open, and there are players who were recently bought by clubs, and clubs are still buying players. The transfer window is open till tomorrow as I speak now. So that means these players might be integrated into the teams only post the international break. So during the international break, you'll get a better clarity, or you'll get information on who the players will be playing in. So this break will give you time for that also. And most importantly for me, why a wildcard can be used or can be utilized now is the price rises. 2 weeks of no matches, and there will be a lot of FPL activity. People have been extremely active on FPL, and this is the starting of the season. So people will tend to make a lot of changes, a lot of active players in the game. So what that means is player prices will be increasing or dropping, and this can impact your team value. So these are the main reasons why I feel that a wildcard should be played. And anyways, so what I am trying to talk here is about, now if in case you're planning to play a wildcard, how to take opportunity, or how to ensure that you can maximize the usage of wildcard. That means maximize the advantage of wildcard, and that is specifically on price rises. How to maximize your price rises and how to increase your team value. And I feel this is a concept I feel FPL players in general do not get a very good grasp on. And I've seen even experienced players struggle a bit on to understand how to maximize your team value and why to maximize team value. So that's something which I'll touch upon. So I'll start off with the very basics on to explain it. Firstly, I want to explain what is a team value and how do you know what your team value is. Team value is the sum of the prices of all your players. Simple as that. So in the beginning of the season, you're given 100 million, so that's your team value. But then as player prices drops, your team value, player prices when it drops or rises, your team value changes. So now if you are using the FPL official website, then when you go to the tab pick team and go down to the bottom of the page, you will see squad value in the bank, and squad value and in the bank. Now the sum of these two is your team value. So that's the simplest thing, and that's what team value is. Now if your team value is greater than 100, that means your team value has increased. And if it is less than 100, that means it has dropped. Now why is team value important? Now, assume your team value has dropped and has become say 99.4. that means your players have dropped in prices, and if you that means if you sell them, you'll get a lower value uh, from what you bought them initially. So which is not good, which means you'll get lesser value or lesser money to buy new players. Similarly, an increased team value will help you sell your players on a higher value, and that means you get an increased budget to buy new players, which is ideally what you want. Now, one thing you need to remember regarding selling and buying players is that okay, I'll explain that with the concept with an example. Say, for example, if you bought Barnes at a value of 7 million, his price has now increased 7.1 million. Now you need to understand that if you sell him, you will only get 7 million. And that is because you need the player to increase by 0.2 to get a profit. That is, if Barnes' value increases 7.2 and then you sell him, you will get 7.1 million in the bank. So that is something which is very important to understand about price rises and team value. But it doesn't work the same way for players dropping prices. When players drop prices, for example, you have someone at say Werner at say 9.5 million, and he drops in value to say 9.4, and now he has become 9.3. So when you sell him, you'll only get 9.3. So you're actually dropping prices have direct impact. But when you're buying players, when your player price increases, when you're selling players, you get only 50% of the profit, and that's an important concept, and that's something which you need to understand. So that's the basics. Okay. Now it's important to understand when a player is rising in value or dropping in value, and to make a changes by keeping that in mind. That is extremely important. So that that's what I say as you being ahead of the curve, and that's important to know. And now the question will be, how do I track those price changes? So there are many websites or apps which help you in tracking those price changes. I use one particular one. It's called fplstatistics.co.uk. I have put the link in the description, so please feel free to refer. There are other websites or apps. I've heard famous ones like Fantasy Football Fix also, and there are other websites and apps which will give you a good prediction on players whose price will increase or will drop. Now, again, having said that, these sites, accuracy of these sites, prediction on price value changes are, I would say, 80%. That is because firstly, every year the FPL team changes the algorithm for price changes, so that impacts, and these apps will take time to predict or to accurately understand what those algorithms are and to predict the price changes. That is one reason. And the other reason is when you are on a wild card and when you make transfers, those transfers actually do not impact price changes. So that is the other reason why these websites do not work 100%. So I would say 80% accuracy is a good number. Again, this is an approximate number. Depending on the site, depending on this thing, I would say 80 to 90% accuracy these sites give. And that's what I have. That's what this website which I'm using, I can vouch for it, and it's been pretty good for me over the years. Now, anyways, let's get back to the wildcard and how you can maximize your team value while using a wildcard. As you are aware, once wildcard is activated, you can make unlimited transfer without getting points docked. So what can be done is you can follow these price changes. Now, what I do to maximize price value is that, and please note that there are many methods to do. Mine has worked for me, and I find it's something which is not very stressful or strenuous. I do not want something where I have to keep following. I tend to play FPL on general on like I spend an hour in a week, or maybe slightly more than that depending on the need. But when I use my wildcard, I ensure that at least I spend 15 minutes a day to track the price changes. So I keep it only for that much time. So my strategy is something which is, I would say, more of a person who's a casual but who knows what the game is. So that's where I will rate myself, and that amount of time you require to manage the team the way I am following it. So, anyways, my strategy is firstly when I play a wild card, it's because I want to make certain changes to my team. That's very important. Now, that's leave price changes. It's very important. Basics of wild card is do not activate a wild card because you want to make 2 changes or 3 changes. Because I would suggest take a -4 or -8 hit. If you are going to play a wild card, please ensure that you have at least 5-6 changes to be made. That's what my suggestion is. Okay, so now when you have that, so when you have decided to make a wildcard, what you do is as soon as you make a wildcard, now you try to predict what team you will want from the next game week onwards. So in this case, game week 5 onwards, what team you will need. So what I do is I take a lot of screenshots of what teams I want. At times, if I'm really interested in generally doing the second wildcard, I generally even try to make an Excel file and give all the scenarios of teams or all the possible teams which I would like to have. So take those screenshots or keep those scenarios of teams which you need to have and keep that with you. Okay, and that's the point number 1. Have that ready. It doesn't need to be 100% that's the final team, but at least have the main players in your team which you want to have and make a idea and keep the screenshots and your Excel ready. So that's the first point. Second point is forget about that team. Completely forget about that team. Now that you made the team, get the screenshot, forget about the team completely. What you now need to do is you need to go to the website which I told you for price changes and follow the price changes and understand who the players are going to drop in value. First priority, drop in value. Remove those players. For example, I might want to have Werner in my team for game week 5 onwards also, but I can see that his price is dropping. So what I do is I remove him and I bring in someone, say Wilson, whose price is increasing. I bring in Wilson or I bring in Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I bring in them because I feel the prices are increasing. Now I might not want them in the team, but I still keep there so that I don't get affected by Werner's price drops, because I'm selling him in at, say now his value is 9.4, I'm selling him at 9.4. Tomorrow I know his value is going to be 9.3 and I can sell him before that. So tomorrow when I want to buy him, I can buy him at 9.3. So that's the whole reason. So first thing is players whose price are dropping, sell them immediately. That's point number 1. So now, similarly, if you think a player is on the price, a player's price is increasing or is on the rise. Okay, let's say, for example, Grealish, but you don't want him in the team, I would still suggest to get the player into the team. Okay, get the player into the team whose player value is increasing. Now, when I say that, you might be telling that every day there are 4-5 players whose price is increasing. How do I get every day 4-5 players into my team? Because I have only limited spots. Very valid point. So that is where I have 2 simple suggestions on how to get players in for player price changes or price increases. Get the player if his price is increasing and he's going to be in a final draft. That's a must. If he's going to be in a final draft, for example, if Grealish is going to be in a final team for game week 5 onwards, then get him in. No matter what, get him into your team. That's extremely important. Okay, that's a simple thing. That's obvious and a straightforward thing. Now, the other option is, like for example, Wilson. I don't want Wilson in my team, but I know his price is increasing. But get him into your team only if you think his price is going to be increased by 0.2 over the next 2 weeks. That is before the next game week deadline. If you think his price is going to be increased by 0.2, then get him in. Because why you're getting him in is that so that you can gain by the value by 0.2 and sell him at 0.1 profit, and then get a player who you wanted to. So you get the 0.1 profit. So that's exactly why you want to get that player in. Okay, so that's the major 2 reasons or the major 2 strategies by which you get a player whose price is increasing. Okay, so and this is the basics. Now that's what the simple thing you need to understand is there's no point getting a player whose value is going to be only increasing by 0.1 over the time. And because if you sell him, you will not get that 0.1 profit, as I explained earlier. So please note this in mind. And by doing the simple steps which I have explained today, you will have a greater team value by end of the break. Now that is before the next game week deadline. It's in 2 weeks' time where no football matches are happening. And again, whatever I've told now is not just applicable for wildcard, but I feel not just applicable during international break. It is applicable during any time you use a wildcard. Use a wildcard, activate a wildcard as early as possible, so that you can capture this wildcard, these changes, and make these transfers. There are expert pro players who what they do is they make all these changes and then activate the wildcard at the very end. That is extremely good. That's a very good strategy, because when you do that, you also can very negligible, but you can make a small impact on the price changes also. I don't advocate that, because as amateurs or as people who are learning to play, we tend to forget things, right? So we might forget the very last day to activate wildcard, and then suddenly we might look at minus 200 points because of all the transfers. So my advice would be to activate the wildcard, and then do this, so you're risk free. Even if you do not make a final change, you're still with a decent team, and you're not getting minus 200 on your FPL, and you're not destroying a season. So that is the basic advices for price changes and wildcard. Again, let me see what else to look into. Again, something which which I've seen here, which people have asked me here, is that people have talked about how important price rises are, or team value is. So I just want to mention that is team value is extremely important. I would say very important. Some expert players rate it as important as player points during the initial phase of the FPL. That means during this phase, they value team value to be as important as points from the players. Okay, personally, I do not agree with that. I feel player points are important, and team value is something which is good to have. Okay, but then that is just to tell you that there is a strategy where you try to maximize the team value initially, so that you get better options to buy players later. I still believe that go with the points, go with the players who you trust on, and then team value will automatically catch up on as they start performing. Okay, but certain things like this wildcard, try to maximize your team value. That's my advice on this. Again, all this what I've explained is a very simple overview of the entire price change and wildcard. There's a lot more to it. So if you have more questions, please feel free to ask your questions in the comment section, and I will try to answer the best of my knowledge. And I am personally, again, I am not playing my wildcard during this international break. I did this because a lot of people, my friends and colleagues, came up to me and asked me about wildcard and how price changes work during wildcard, and they are activating wildcard, and they were not very clear about the price changes and wildcard. So I took this episode just to explain to them. But in case if you feel that you want to play a wildcard and you want some advice on what players to have for wildcard, I can definitely help. Suggest certain players who are good to have during the from game week 5 onwards, and I can work on that. So please ask your question. Please let me know what players. Let me know questions on such things, on what players to have after posts, and I can help based on your need. So please feel free to comment and post those questions also. So that's pretty much it from me for this episode. So if you like the content, as usual, please like, share, and subscribe the video with your family and friends. And for similar content, please click on the subscribe button, and stay safe. And until next time, goodbye. Thank you.